I think it's going to be a good morning. Hello, everybody. I think we will have a really nice English lesson today. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. As you know, I'm just checking some things here. We'll start in 24 seconds. Let me just make sure everything is working right. Looks like everything is working the way it's supposed to be. So we'll start in about 12 seconds. We'll start on this lesson about commands, orders, and requests. Telling people what to do. I'm sure some of you will love this lesson. Well, hello and welcome to this free English class, this free English lesson where I'm going to talk about commands, orders, and requests in English. I'm going to talk about the things you need to say when you tell other people what to do. It might seem obvious that because I'm a teacher, I use a lot of phrases like this. I'm often telling people what to do, but we'll look at ways to rudely tell someone what to do. We'll look at how to tell your dog what to do. We'll look at how to tell other people what to do kindly, how to use it, the phrases as a request. So welcome to this English lesson about commands, orders, and requests. We will be using what's called the imperative verb form. The imperative verb form is when you tell someone what to do using just the verb, and there's usually an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. Hey, I want to welcome a few people before we get started. Hi to Dave and Todd, of course, who are moderating the chat. Big shout out to Rod, the English teacher who's here. Eugene, who just finished his breakfast. I see Paco-san. I see Judith in the chat as well. I see Yaroslav. I see Lemon Cute. When I scroll back, I see Key Park and Audie and Marwanto and Lolly and Eugene again. Eugene, you'll have to teach me how to say your name at some point. And then let me go back here. Who else do we have? We have Hussein, Apple the Frog, you, Lolly, I think I mentioned already. Barra Vilson is here as well. Let me check my audio. Everything looks like it's working the way it's supposed to. Let's learn a little bit about how to tell people what to do. So the first phrase I have is the phrase get out. By the way, I think 3 or 4 of the slides today are just someone pointing and yelling. When you give a command in English, you're often raising your voice a little bit if you're saying it in anger or if you are feeling emotional at the time. When you say get out, it implies that you are inside somewhere, probably in a building. You can even be like in a backyard. So you're not technically inside, but there's a fence around you. And if a strange dog came in your yard, you might say, get out. You might even say, get out of here. Okay. Maybe you're watching a TV show and there's a fight at someone's house. And one person says to the person who's visiting, get out or get out of here. That kind of behavior is not welcome here. So get out. It isn't always something that you say angry in an angry way, but I think it can be definitely for sure. Like I'm imagining a scene I saw on a TV show the other night where someone was yelling, get out to someone in a bar. And that's how I got the idea for this lesson. And they were definitely angry. We also can say things like keep out. Although normally it's a sign that tells you this. If you see the words keep out, it means don't go in because it's probably dangerous. Sometimes you'll see a sign on a fence that says keep out. We also sometimes will use this as a teacher. I might say, this you're not supposed to go in this room, so keep out. Maybe there's a room where we have all the textbooks or all the computers and students aren't allowed in there. So we would tell them to keep out. Basically, what that means is do not go in, but it's used as a command or an order. Another phrase similar to get out is get lost. This is a little more like slang, although it's very common in informal English speech. When you say to someone, get lost, or let's say an animal like this, I think this is a wolf or a fox. It looks like a wolf. If I saw an animal like this, I would probably yell, get lost, or get out of here, get lost. So basically, when you're lost, you don't know where you are. And this command is used to tell someone or an animal that you want them to go away. You want them to leave and then not come back. So in a way, you want them to be lost and not return, get lost. Let's see here. Stop it and quit it. So these two are commands or orders that parents often give to children when children are really excited and maybe making too much noise or playing too loudly, or if they're doing something annoying. So a parent might say, stop it, or they might say, quit it. I usually use the phrase quit it. Stop it I use as well. By the way, if you want to change it from a command to a request, so a command is very direct. A request is a little more polite. So if I wanted to make this a request, I might say, stop it, please, or quit it, please. When you add the word please, it softens the command just a little bit and makes it more of a request. If you were wondering what the difference between a command and request was. So stop it and quit it. Something you say to someone when they're doing something that annoys you. Stop it, quit it. So you might have neighbors that play their music way too loud. You might have neighbors that they come home from work every day and they just turn their radio up really loud. And if you knocked on their door, if you were angry, you might say, turn it down. If you were talking to your children, though, if your children were playing loud music, you might say, turn it down, please. Again, adding the word please to soften things a bit. Hey, and a little bit about the imperative. I should have explained this at the beginning. The imperative is simply the verb. So if you have the verb, to stop, if you remove the word to and you just yell stop, that's the imperative form of the verb. It's one of the easiest verb forms to conjugate, because if you have a verb like, if you want to tell someone to go somewhere, you just remove the to, the to, and you just say go. So it's a very simple verb form when you want to give a command. But yes, loud music sometimes results in people saying, turn it down. This one is almost always said forcefully and maybe with a bit of anger or frustration. There is no polite way to say shut up. Okay, so when you yell shut up to someone, it means you want them to stop talking. It means you want them to stop talking to you. It usually happens during a conversation when people are arguing and when they get angry at each other. Eventually, one person might just say, shut up. I'm tired of listening to you. Just shut up. So shut up. You can't say shut up, please. That doesn't make it any nicer. You can't add the word please to this command and make it work better or sound a little softer or nicer. Definitely when you say shut up, it means that you are a little bit upset or a little bit angry. Sometimes people are very stressed. Sometimes people are they're very anxious, or they have a lot of anxiety. And if they sit down, you might just say, relax, maybe just relax. Maybe someone's angry about something that happened in their day. You might just say, relax, let's have a cup of tea and talk about it. So when you give the command, or it's actually more of a request, I think, relax, you're usually calmly asking someone to just take a deep breath, maybe count to 10, and to try to stop being angry or upset, or at least be a little bit less angry. So relax. That's a great line, by the way, to say to someone, hey, relax, let's sit down and have a cup of tea and you can tell me all about your day. So relax is definitely a command where you're asking someone to be a little more calm. Watch out and look out. So when you yell, watch out or look out, usually someone maybe is in danger. Maybe if you're at a soccer game and you're standing on the sidelines, and maybe you're talking to someone beside you and the soccer ball is coming towards your head, people would yell, watch out or look out. This guy, thankfully, he has a hard hat on. So the hammer that is falling, if it hits him, it won't hurt him. But if you saw this happening, you would definitely be yelling, watch out or look out. You wouldn't be angry. You would just yell this because you are concerned for the other person's safety. So watch out or look out, and then hopefully they move quickly, and then the danger is avoided. Slow down. Have you ever been in a car with someone who drives too fast? Maybe you're driving with one of your teenage children and you want to tell them that they're driving too fast. You would say slow down. So yes, definitely when someone drives quickly, when someone makes you feel uncomfortable because they're going too fast, you would probably tell them to slow down. That would be the command that you would give them. Slow down. And again, if you add please, slow down, please, it sounds a little nicer. But you have to recognize too that when you give commands and orders, it means that either you're like a parent or a teacher or an older person talking to a younger person, or maybe you're feeling angry or you're feeling emotional, because it's very direct when you tell someone to do something. Because the most polite way to say it would be, could you slow down, please? When you drive this fast, it scares me a little bit. That would be very polite. And if you said, slow down, that would be very angry, a lot more emotion. So we have quiet, quiet down, be quiet. I put a picture of a teacher. This is a common phrase for teachers to say. Again, when you say quiet, or when you say quiet down, or when you say be quiet, it's somewhat forceful. If you wanted to soften it, you would say quiet, please, or quiet down, please, or be quiet, please. Adding the word please just makes things so much nicer and calmer and polite in English. So if you are in charge of some people, or if you're somewhere where there's a lot of people who are being kind of loud or talking, you could say quiet or quiet down or be quiet. Notice how my voice gets a bit stronger, quiet. And then quiet please or quiet down please, just a nicer way to say it. Listen up is a way to get people to listen to you. So if you're standing with a large group of friends and there's a lot of conversations, maybe you're trying to decide with 10 people what movie to go see. And maybe you look on your phone and you're like, oh, just a minute, listen up. There's a movie playing in 10 minutes just down the street. So when you say listen up, you're basically asking everyone to listen to you. You're asking them to give you their attention. So I think that's a great example. Again, often a phrase that teachers would use, listen up, we're going to go to the library now and everyone needs to find a book. So it's just a way to request that people listen to you when you're having, when you want them to stop talking and listen to what you have to say. Hey, let's look at some questions. I haven't looked at questions yet. Let me get to my question form. I know there are a few questions ready. Here we go. First one from Ruslan. Hello, dear teacher Bob. Oh, I should check the audio because I saw a comment go by. Oh yeah, everything's working. How could I politely give an order to something without offending a person, to do something without offending a person? What expression can I use? Best wishes. So let's say someone was being loud. If it's someone you know, you could say, quiet, please. Or you could say, could you quiet down? When we add the word could to the beginning of the sentence, it's a little more polite. If a stranger was standing in front of me at a concert and I couldn't see the stage, I might say, excuse me, I'm just wondering, could you sit down so that I could see? So those are the words you use to soften the command. You make it a little more polite, but definitely for most of them, you can also just add the word please. Let's see here. Vitor, can I use the term bossy verbs instead of imperative verbs? Are you bossy with your children or do you prefer tough love? Merci, Bob. Bossy verbs is a good name for it. Not an official name, but they're definitely bossy verbs. The imperative form is the form that parents use, adults use with children, teachers use them, even a doctor or someone in charge, a boss would use the imperative. I love the term bossy verbs. I think I'm kind with my children, but also quite direct. I think I speak very directly. Let's see here. See us, friend. Hello there. Let me guess. Canadians don't use bugger off as an angry command. I think it's Australian. Am I right, sir? Have a blessed day. Yeah, we don't say bugger off. I've heard it. It's very familiar to me. And yes, it does sound somewhat Australian to me. Sukena, what are the meaning of simmer down and mark my words and cool it? Have a great weekend. Simmer down means, stop running around, stop yelling. It's something you use with children who are being quite active. You might say, simmer down. Grandma doesn't like it when you run around and yell all the time. So simmer down. Mark my words means you're going to then declare you're going to do something. Like, mark my words, I will do a live stream next Friday. So it's like making a promise. And cool it means to relax as well, or it can be the same as simmer down. Let's see here. Henry from Taiwan. Hi, Teacher Bob. What would you do if a backseat driver told you where to go when driving? Thank you. Well, it depends. If it was like my brother or someone else who's really good at directions, I would listen to them. But generally, I like to just do my own driving and use my GPS to guide me. But I would be kind if someone in my back seat was telling me what to do. Freddie, the Frenchie, says, hi, Bob. Hope you're doing well. I am, Freddie. I hope you are too. Can we name the instruments we've on board in the cars or airplanes as commands? Or is this a false friend with French? So the instruments that you have in your car, we simply say it's the dashboard. And everything on the dashboard we call gauges. So I think that's what you're talking about. So when I get in my van, there's a fuel gauge, there's a speedometer, which tells me how fast I'm going. There's a temperature gauge. So I think it might be what you're saying, but that's what we would call them, the gauges. Judith says, can you give a command politely, which seems impolite? Yes, it depends on your tone. If I say, students, be quiet, please, that's very kind. That's a nice way to give a command. Students, be quiet, please. But if I was like, if I was a student and I was pretending to be the teacher, I might say, students, be quiet, please. And then I'm making fun of the teacher. So it sometimes relates to tone. Long time no see. What's the difference between command and order? I think they're pretty much the same. When you give someone a command or when you give someone an order, command is usually used to refer to something short, like sit down, stand up, get out. Those are all commands. An order might be something longer, like go to the store and buy some cornflakes. That might be considered. I think command is a better way to describe what we're talking about today. Let's see here. I'm only dealing with questions related to the lesson. Yaroslav says, morning, the wisest teacher, Bob. Hope you're doing better than ever. My question is, what commands do you use when teaching? Thanks. Take care. I definitely use like quiet down, take a seat. In a polite way, instead of saying attention, please, I say, could I have your attention, please? Sit down. I don't say get out very often, but I have asked students to go in the hallway every once in a while if their behavior isn't good. I wouldn't say get out. I would probably say, could you just take a seat in the hall for a bit? And then I might go out and say, you need to relax. So yeah, those are the commands. Definitely be quiet, please. Sit down, take a seat. We'll get to some of those later in the lesson as well. Let's see here. Archer says, hi, Bob. I am wondering, what's the difference between commands you have to finish and end something? Thank you. So if you were to give a command, you would say finish it. I'm working on this project. Your boss might say, hey, finish it, because it needs to be done in 1 hour. End it doesn't have the same meaning. So finish is the choice I would use. Some people think that adding the word please won't soften the sentence. What do you think? It depends on the sentence. If I say shut up, or if I say shut up, please, the please doesn't make that sentence any nicer. But if I say sit down, or I say sit down, please, as a teacher, I would almost always say sit down, please. And I would say it with that tone and with the word please, because it's simply more polite that way. Apple the Frog, is there any difference between stop it and quit it? No. Although quit it is hard for English learners to say sometimes because it's quit it. And then the T becomes the D sound, right? It flaps a bit. Quit it. So stop it and quit it. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm just going to read this one quick. Hi, the best teacher. I've requested or asked my son to stay home because of this class. Instead of going for sunset shore fishing, I've asked my son. Yes, I asked my son. You could say I told my son, then he has to do it. If you ask your son, he has a choice. Let's see here. Let's see. So here we have Dr. Scatman says, I want to know what's the commands when I was selling medicine for the customers at the hospital. Can you explain what are the commands when you're in the hospital? So if a nurse is talking to a patient, they would give commands. If a doctor was talking to a patient, they might say, sit down, please, or lie down, please, or put this gown on, please, or wait here, please, or have a seat. Those would be very common phrases to hear in a hospital. Let's see here. Kimmy and Kiwi from Korea. Good morning, Bob. What is the difference between sit tight and stay still? Sit tight means wait. So if I'm like, hey, sit tight, I'll be back in a minute, it means wait. Stay still would be something you would say to a child who's jumping around and being crazy. You would say, just stay still, or sit still is another way to say it. Okay, let's get back to this lesson. Let me do an audio check for a second. I'm getting a few errors here, but I think everything is continuing to work well. By the way, hello to the 391 people who are watching. If you're new here, don't forget to click that red subscribe button. Although now that I'm at 1 million, I just, it seems crazy to ask more people to subscribe. But hey, if you do want to know when a new lesson comes out, click that subscribe button and check the bell and you will get notified. Sometimes the command is actually a greeting or salutation or something you say to someone. So sometimes when I'm leaving work, I'll say, hey, have a great day, if it's the middle of the day. If I'm talking to my mom on the phone in the morning, I might say, have a great day. So it's an entire phrase, and it's not so much of a command, like it is a command, it is the imperative. It uses the verb to have, and we say, have a great day, but it's a very polite thing. It's more of a saying, I think, like, have a great day. Hey, have a great day. Nice talking. Yesterday, I talked to my friend in France. And when we were done talking, I said, have a great day. Okay. Because it was the middle of the day. So sometimes you use the imperative to wish someone well. Sometimes you use it to encourage people. You might say, keep going, or don't stop. So the second phrase here is our first use of don't with the imperative when you put it into the negative. So for instance, if I was watching someone run a race and they were slowing down, I might be like, don't stop, keep going. So I might cheer them on. Maybe you're watching the Olympics right now and you're watching speed skating and the skater from your country is going a little slow. You might be like, no, keep going, don't stop. And you would use the imperative to, or a command to, cheer them on. You also might use the phrase, go for it. So this is used in a bunch of different ways, but it basically is a command where you encourage someone to do something, or you tell them they're allowed to do something. So the first example would be this. If a friend said, I'm thinking of applying for a job at Amazon, you might say, that sounds great, go for it. That means that you agree that it's a good idea and you think they should do it. I'm thinking of watching Bob's live stream this morning. You might say to someone, oh, good idea, go for it. I have a lot of fun. Here you'll see that there are some boxes with donuts. If I was giving out donuts and someone said, can I take one? I might say, go for it. So I'm giving them permission to do it. So it can be used to encourage someone. If they say they might do something or they're thinking about do something, if you say go for it, or it's a way to give permission. Like, may I have a donut? I could say sure, or I could say go for it. So here's one that I've mentioned during the question session: sit down and take a seat. These two commands, the verb to sit and to take a seat, is a verbal phrase. Both mean that you're talking to people who are standing up and you're asking them to find a chair or to sit on the floor. and you're asking them to sit down. Teachers use this. If you go to a meeting, maybe you go to City Hall and there's a meeting. Before the meeting, everyone is standing around talking. Someone might go to the mic and go, could I have everyone sit down, please? Could you sit down, please? Hey, could take a seat, please? We're going to start the meeting. So notice again, adding the word please softens it a bit and makes it kinder. But it's definitely a way to ask people to sit down, to find a chair and sit in the chair, or even to sit on the floor if that's what you're doing. And then the opposite, of course, is stand up. So maybe you are somewhere where a whole bunch of people are sitting and the person in charge needs everyone to stand up. They would just say stand up. And again, if you wanted to soften it and make it a little more polite, you would say stand up, please. I see in the chat from Yaroslav, someone saying, or Yaroslav saying, please be seated. That's definitely another way to say it kindly. Find a seat, please. Take a seat, please. Please be seated, or sit down, please. All of those are common ways. And again, the example of if a meeting is starting, that's what you would hear. Great addition, Yaroslav. Help. So this person is fine, by the way. This is a picture of a person swimming and they're fine. They're just yelling help because they want someone to help them. So this is something that you yell when you are in danger. So let's say you fall down and you hurt your leg and you can't get up. You would yell help. Let's say you're swimming and you don't know how to swim and you're sinking. You would yell help. Well, you need to have your head above water to do that, of course. But definitely this is the short and quick way to let someone know that you need assistance. You need someone to come and help you. So you would yell help. Another negative version of a command is the don't forget phrase. Sometimes in life you go to do something and you forget what you were supposed to do. So sometimes Jen, for instance, will text me and say, don't forget to go to the grocery store. Don't forget to get the mail. Don't forget to pick up some milk. So the don't forget command is used to remind someone. When students leave my class, I'll say, don't forget to do your homework tonight. Don't forget to finish your project. Don't forget to finish your assignment. So the don't forget format, even though it's the negative, basically it's a way to remind people that they need to do something. Don't forget to watch my video on Tuesday. Don't forget to watch this video again in a couple of days. See, I'm using it right there. Don't be late. Another negative form of a command. You're telling people that instead of be on time, that would be the reverse, the affirmative or positive version, right? Be on time tomorrow. You could also say, don't be late tomorrow. So again, a command telling people, make sure that you arrive somewhere at the time when you are supposed to be there. Don't be late. Be on time. Just need a little sip of water here. If you wanted to give me a command to drink, you would say, take a drink or take a sip of water. Don't move. So you'll hear this phrase quite often on police shows. Sometimes when the police arrest someone, the person will be running away and the police will pull out their gun and they'll say, don't move. And then they'll arrest the person. But we also say this to people sometimes when we see a mosquito land on them and we want to swat the mosquito. We might say, oh, don't move. And then we'll swat the mosquito. When I sit around a campfire with my family, sometimes Jen or my sister or somebody will all of a sudden say, don't move, Bob. And then all of a sudden, whack. And then they'll have hit or swatted the mosquito. So don't move is a command you use to tell people not to move, maybe to swat a bug that's on them, or for another reason. There's could be a variety of them. Hey, let's switch to members only chat for a bit. It's a bit early, but we're moving through the lesson well. So I think we should take a moment to just do that. If Bob can actually find the spot where he needs to click to get that done. Let's see here. We had a question from Kimmy and Kiwi. Excellent, things are working. Hey, so it is members only chat mode. If you are wondering what that is, Every time I do a live lesson for 10 minutes in the middle of the lesson, members can ask questions directly in the chat. The link to how to become a member or the join button is down there below. You can use that if you want to explore what it means to be a member. I'm going to get the next question up on the screen here and also answer questions from the chat. So Salis says, hello, Bob. Congratulations for 1 million followers. Thank you very much. What is the difference between a demand and a request? So a demand would be, let's see here. If I said, give that to me, that's a demand. Like that's an order, that's a command. Give that to me. If one of my children was playing with matches, something dangerous, I would say, give them to me. So that is a demand. At school, if I said to a student, give your book to me, please, that's a request. Or could you please give me your book? So it's just when you ask it in a more polite way. Ricardo in the chat says, hello, Teacher Bob. Nice to see you again. How to politely command someone to get vaccinated? Well, you can't. You can encourage people to get vaccinated, but you can't really order or command someone to get vaccinated. You would say this, though. You would say, go get vaccinated. That would be the way to give the command. But I would just say if someone doesn't want to get vaccinated, telling them directly using a command to get vaccinated might not be the best way to have that conversation. You might want to talk a little bit more about why you think they should. But that would be the command, go get vaccinated, or you could just say get vaccinated. Both would work. Audie the Thai, hi Teacher Bob. Today, no question. Just would like to tell you I have to watch your last video, advice. So I watched almost 10 times, short and long video, and my short video, it doesn't have subtitles. Thanks. Oh, I will double check that when I'm done this lesson. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to. Maybe that didn't happen last week. I'm going to check right now. Bob the Canadian, advice. I'm pretty sure I put them on there, but you know what? Sometimes I forget things. Yeah, I will double check after the lesson. Thank you for letting me know. Let me clear my throat for a second here. Okay, let's get to the next question here. Losing track of what I'm doing. Next question from Lolly Lolly. I heard, please do sit down. I think it's more British. Yes, the do form, like please do sit down. Please do have something to drink. Please do. It does sound kind of British. It sounds very formal to me, Lolly Lolly. Rod says, I use please bear with me a lot. Yes. That's a way to ask someone to be patient. So I just checked if the other video had subtitles. I could have said, just wait a moment, please bear with me. I'm going to check that. That would be a great phrase to use. Thanks, Rod. Al Gore says, hi, Bob. Is there a difference between keep up and keep on? And thanks. So keep up the good work. Keep on doing what you're doing. Those two phrases mean the same thing. But I'm afraid keep up and keep on have a lot of different usages. So a little tricky to explain it all right now. Jonathan has a question right here. Hi, dear Bob. Thank you for your classes. You're welcome. What does the phrase bring it around mean? So let's say you go to the garage with your car. Oh no, let's do it this way. You call the mechanic at the garage and you say, my car is making a funny noise. Your mechanic could say, hey, well, bring it around this afternoon and I'll have a look at it. It simply means to go there with your car, okay? Maybe your laptop isn't working very well and you call a friend and say, my laptop isn't working. They could say, well, bring it around this afternoon and I will fix it for you. That's how I would use those commands. Let's see here. Rod says, most welcome, sir. No problem, Rod. Betty, hi, the cutest Teacher Bob. Long time no see. Hi, Betty. Did you vote in the last election? When people ask you this question, do you find it annoying and want to say, shut up, stay hydrated? No, I'm usually pretty open about the fact that I vote. I don't usually say who I voted for. That's kind of a private thing. But if someone said, did you vote in the last election? I wouldn't want to give them the command, shut up. I would probably just tell them yes or no. Key Park, Bob, I want to know how to ask somebody to keep distance from me. Thanks. Oh, that's a tricky one. So the polite way would be, Could you stay 2 meters apart? Like if you're talking about social distancing, you could say, could you step back, please? Or something like that, but it's very tricky. If you're talking about life in general, like you want someone to stay away, you would say stay away or stay away from me. It's a very strong command, right? But maybe you and a friend don't get along anymore. You might say to your friend, look, I don't enjoy your company. Stay away. Stay away from me. It's very direct. It's very, very, like it's not polite, but it's definitely something you could say. Let's see here. Julia, hi dear teacher, is help yourself, go for it. Yeah, help yourself is definitely an equivalent of go for it. If in the donut scenario, like if someone said, can I have a donut? I could say, yeah, help yourself or go for it. They're very informal, both of them, by the way. Go for it and help yourself. Let's see. Let me get another question. I'm going to skip this one. So greetings from Japan, from Nikita. I am proud to become a member. I travel everywhere with your useful lessons. Well, thank you, Nikita, for being a member. And thank you for the kind words. Ario, do you agree? Please is the polite word. I always said the word please in English. Yeah, please is definitely a word that makes things more polite. Like, could you please pass the sugar? Could you please get me a coffee when you go to the coffee shop and bring it back? It's definitely a nice way to soften things. Let's see here. Jocelyn says, hello, Mr. Bob. Hope you're fine. I am. Please, how could I politely say I'm getting out of a place? Thanks a lot. I have a nice weekend and Valentine's Day. I will. I'm getting out of a place. Like if you're leaving somewhere. So if you're in an apartment and you're moving, you would say, I'm going to move, or you're going to say, I'm moving out. If you are in a restaurant, you would just say, oh, I'm leaving in a few minutes, or I need to go in a few minutes. That's how I would use those two. Let's see here. From Abla, some life advice. Hi, teachers. Some people they are control freaks. This is who they are. This is their personality. Some people are offended by them. How can you deal with bossy characters? I don't know. I know some bossy people in my life. I just smile. If I need to say no, I politely say no. And I usually just don't get too involved with bossy people. It can be tricky when people get bossy, can't it? Let's see here. So from Warson, hi teacher, I am confused. Commands and suggestions. If my friend says to me I am sick and I say to her go to the hospital, is that a command or a suggestion? Thank you. So if I said to someone go to the hospital, that's a command. Like if I was talking to, let's say my mom, and my mom said, oh, I hurt my arm today, but I think I'm fine. I might in a very strong way say, Mom, go to the hospital. You need to have someone check that out. Go to the hospital. So it's not impolite in that scenario. If I wanted to say it nicely, I would say, have you thought about going to the hospital? Or do you think you should go to the hospital? Or would you like me to take you to the hospital? That would be the more polite way to handle all those situations. Betty Lou in the chat says, hi, the cutest teacher Bob. In case you miss it, congrats on 1.01 million subscribers. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yes, I'm 1% of the way to 2 million subscribers. That's a little crazy, eh? Let's see. From Geethma. Hi, teacher Bob. Could you please tell me if there is the exact word for asking something from someone that is not forgiving that whatever the thing we have asked? I'm confused by the question. Asking something from someone that is not forgiving. Oh, I'll basically say this. The general way to ask for something politely is to say, could I have that? Could I have your old laptop? Could I have your old car? Could I have some money? That's the format for asking for something. Even if it's something that they normally wouldn't be giving away, that's how you would ask for that. So here we go from Fyodor. Hello, Bob. How would you characterize a person who commands too much? How would you express discontentment at this? So we would say the person is bossy. Definitely. You might say they're very direct, but definitely you would say they are bossy. So a boss is someone in charge of people at a place of work. But when someone's bossy, it means they like to tell people what to do. Your brother might be bossy, your sister might be bossy. That is how we would describe that person. From Jarmila, hello, Bob. Congrats to your first 1,000,000 subscribers. Thank you, Jarmila. Hope you're well after fighting COVID. I have it as well through the Christmas. Take care. Well, I hope you get better soon as well. And I hope you have no lingering effects from it. Let's see here. Let me get back to, I'm going to turn off members only chat. Members, if you still have questions, you can still ask them, and I will keep my eye out for questions down there for sure. And let's get back to this lesson. We did don't move. So you might be familiar with this phrase because you hear this often in a restaurant in English when the waiter or waitress brings you your food. They will say, enjoy your meal. They will say, here you go, enjoy your meal, and they will give you your food. So it's just a very polite command. Again, it's the verb to enjoy, but it's used to kind of wish someone well at a restaurant. So enjoy your meal. Thanks for coming. Here's your food. Enjoy your meal. So they want you to have a good time eating, a good time talking with your friends, and just a nice time at the restaurant where you're at. So enjoy your meal. You could say this at home too. Like, I guess I could say, if I had guests over, I might, bring the food to the table and say, enjoy your meal. But it's most common to hear this in a restaurant. Audie said, Bob, I just checked. Yeah, I will fix that, Audie, after this lesson for sure. We also have borrowed a phrase. We say this two ways. When someone is going on a trip, we will often say, have a good trip. We will say, enjoy yourself. And we might even say bon voyage, which is not English, it's French. So we have a number of phrases that we use similar to have a good day, have a great day. We sometimes will say to people, have a good trip, have a great trip, or bon voyage. Basically, wishing someone well when they leave to go on a trip. We're basically saying, the long version would be, I hope when you are on your vacation or trip that you have fun every day. Have a good trip. And then in there I said, enjoy yourself as well. I'm not sure if you heard that one. Have a good trip, bon voyage, enjoy yourself. Watch your mouth is something that usually adults say to children when they use a bad word. Excuse me. Like when they use a swear word, they'll say, watch your mouth. It basically means stop swearing, stop using swear words. If a student, how would I say this? I'm not sure I would say watch your mouth, please, because if a student swears in class, I usually ask them to go sit in the hall. And then I might go to them later and say, look, you can't swear in class. Watch your mouth is very direct. Like an angry parent might say this to a child who swears. So if they said the F word or something like that, they might say, hey, watch your mouth. You can't say that word in public. And then you might have seen this if you've been to an English-speaking country, watch your step. This means that there might be a little gap between you and the train. Maybe there's a set of stairs where the stairs are really narrow and the steps aren't very big. Anytime you're in a situation where you might trip and fall because things are uneven or there's a hole or any of those kinds of things, there will be a sign that says, watch your step. Caution, watch your step. It basically means be careful when you walk here. Watch your step. Be nice. So this is something we often say to our children when they go to school. We say, have a good day. Enjoy your day at school. Be nice, or be nice to your teachers. We sometimes say that too. I often say this when students leave my classroom. I'll say, hey, have a good night. See you tomorrow. Be nice to your parents, because I always know sometimes teenagers aren't nice to their parents. So this is a command that's given in a nice way. It's not something like, you're not like, be nice. You wouldn't say it in a mean way. You would definitely say it in a nice, kind way. You would say, hey, see you later, be nice. And it is, again, usually someone like an adult talking to children. You might say this to your dog as well, by the way. If your dog growls, you might pull them back on their leash and say, hey, be nice. This is our neighbor. Don't growl at our neighbor. Be nice. Have fun is another good one. Sometimes people, I'm trying to think, gamers, if any of you are younger, there's short forms like good luck, have fun is something they say in video gaming, or at least they used to when I was more of a gamer, before a game or a match. So GLHF, good luck, have fun. When you say good luck to someone or have fun to someone, you're basically just saying, I hope what you're going to do is something fun. Okay. So if someone was going hiking, I could say, hey, have fun. Have a good day, have fun. Basically wishing someone well. And then have a good day is something you could say when did I do this one already? No, I did have a great day. So we did have a great day, and now we have a good day. 2 ways to basically say to someone, I hope your day is awesome. It's something that I say to all of you when I've done my live streams. I usually say, have a good Friday, or have a good day, or have a good weekend. And then this is not technically a verb, but we have shortened another phrase, the phrase see you later. We have shortened that phrase to just later. So I'm going to end with this slide and I'll do some questions. But it's a very slang way to say goodbye to people. You'll hear students say this, younger people say this. I say it sometimes. I'll just say later. And it basically means I will see you later, or see you later. A very common, informal, I guess it's slang a little bit, way to say goodbye to someone. Well, hey, let's finish off the questions. Let me get to the question form, and then we will wrap this lesson up. Let me make sure the questions. This is not about the lesson. Lath says, why do you wear a summer shirt? Isn't it cold? I don't get cold very easily, even though my house is probably 19 degrees or 18 degrees and it's somewhat cool. I don't often wear long sleeves. I've just been someone who, like, to me, this is enough. I'm warm enough when I'm inside. When I go outside, I do wear a winter coat. Although people were on my other channel asking why I wasn't wearing more clothes outside when it was winter. But let's see here. Tawab says, congratulations on 1 million, sir. I'm confused. This statement is false. Does it mean it is true? No, it means it's false. If I said, I have 2 million subscribers, someone would say that statement is false. That means it's not true, and it isn't true. If I said I have 1 million subscribers, this statement is true. But if I said I had 2 million, you would say this statement is false. Hey, that's it, everybody. We are done. Another Friday lesson. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned a few things. Do remember, this will come out in a couple of days, a shorter version, probably about 25 minutes long, and it will have English subtitles. I have to check last week's video. Audie let me know that it didn't have the subtitles. I will make sure that it has them. I thought I had added them. But sometimes it's good to rewatch these lessons and rewatch them with the subtitles on for certain sections that you didn't understand. Sometimes it's good just to have it playing in the background. There are ads at the beginning of my lessons and at the end, but I do not put ads in the middle. I'm not sure if you've noticed that. I'd like to thank all of those of you who are members, because the fact that you are members gives me a little more income, and then I don't put ads in the middle of my video. So you can watch the first 2 ads and then play the entire video in a couple of days with no ad breaks. And it's just good to reinforce what you've learned. Do it while you're cooking, listen to it while you're driving or when you go for a walk. Get it into your brain 2 times and you'll be able to remember it a lot better. Anyways, thanks for being here. I'm going to say bye to Todd and Dave, bye to Rod, the English teacher, bye to Lemon Cute and Key Park and Lath and Lolly Lolly and Judith and Apple the Frog and Lemon Cute. Bye to all of you. Bye to Nancy Milan. Just randomly saying bye to people. Bye to Jocelyn. Bye to Nitin and Umar and Vitor. And I know there's so many more of you out there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back. Of course, there will be a lesson on Tuesday. If you didn't watch this past Tuesday's lesson, I'm outside. It's very cold. There's lots of snow. You should watch it. And then I think you'll enjoy next Tuesdays, and I'll be back next Friday with another live lesson, and I will see you then. Have a great day. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday, and I will see you next week.